The NBA has existed for 74 years, and throughout the course of history, we have seen multiple numbers of talents come and go, as well as seeing the game change over the years, and most players adapt their playstyle to fit the style of play for the time. However, some players have skill sets that were different and just ahead of their time. And today I want to talk about 4 players that I believe would thrive if they played in today's NBA. But before we get into today's video, if you're new and you like basketball, I really think you would love this channel. So if you haven't already, feel free to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified whenever I release a video. I make videos that take elements from film essays and apply them to basketball. I also make videos covering draft prospects and high school prospects. I'm trying to reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so doing all those things would be a big help to me. Make sure you follow my Twitter as well, trying to reach 1,000 followers over there. Link to everything in the description below as always, but with that being said, let's get right into the video. Jaylen Rose was a 6'8", 210-pound wing guard hybrid that played 13 years in the NBA for 6 different teams. And while he's most known now for his personality on ESPN and Kobe dropping 81 points on him back in his playing days, Jaylen Rose was actually a very good player in his own right, who at his best could give you around 20 plus points a game, 5 rebounds a game, and 6 assists per game. In my opinion, Jaylen Rose is one of the best players to never make an all-star team in his career. But what makes me believe Jaylen Rose would be awesome in today's NBA is his versatility. He was a true point forward that could play 1 through 3, and I believe he has a chance to be a guy that could play 1 through 4 in today's NBA. As a rookie, he played in 18 games where he logged between 30 and 39 minutes. In those 18 games, he averaged 9.6 assists per game, with an insane 3.51 assist-to-turnover ratio. Mind you, this was when he was a rookie. The NBA is moving towards positionless basketball, where playmaking initiators aren't just limited to point guards. In fact, I would say wing creators are becoming more important than ever. And Rose fits the description of a wing creator. He can pass and he can score. He also would have been a one-and-done, likely top 5, maybe even top 3 pick had he played today, because he averaged 18 points a game, 4 rebounds a game, and 4 assists per game as a freshman in college. And given the skill set that he had in the stats he would have put up as a freshman in college, it wouldn't shock me if he was a top 3 pick in most drafts over the last few years. Kevin Garnett was the modern big man before the modern big man was even a thing. He had insane offensive and defensive versatility. He was a really good rebounder. On offense, he was an okay post player, but he wasn't a traditional big man. Despite being 6'11", 240 pounds with a 7'5" wingspan, he moved much more like a wing than a traditional big. He took a lot of long twos that would have been 3-pointers if he played today, because I believe that coaches and trainers would have had him taking more threes than long twos. He was also a very good passer, as at his best he could average 6 assists per game at the power forward or center spot, which is really impressive. On defense is where he really shines though. He has elite versatility because of his physical tools and athleticism, and he wasn't just limited to guarding other bigs. In fact, he had an insane defensive motor and basketball IQ, and add on top of his physical tools, it would allow him to defend 1 through 5. If Kevin Garnett played today, he would be everything you look for in the big man on offense and then some. And he will be everything you look for in a big man on defense and then some. In a way, Kevin Garnett was the apex of the modern day big man before we even knew what the modern day big man would be. Locker room incident aside, Gilbert Arenas had one of the most successful 3-year scoring stretches by a point guard in NBA history. From 2005 to 2007, he averaged 27.7 points per game, 4.3 rebounds per game, and 5.7 assists per game on a 57% true shooting percentage. He was an explosive scoring combo guard that fit the mold to the James Hardens and Damian Lillards of the world. Guys who were more scoring oriented, that shoot a lot of threes and draw a lot of contact that leads to production from the line. We've seen guys during Gilbert Arenas' time that got to the line a lot, but the volume of threes he was taking at would only be increased in today's era. And on top of this, the spacing in today's NBA, and I think Arenas will be much more efficient than he was in his time. I think he would have been closer to 60 plus true shooting percentage than 57 true shooting percentage. And again, I think that will lead to massive amount of success in the NBA. He would be somebody that I believe would be putting up James Harden style numbers had he played in today's era, and someone that would be challenging for the scoring title every year. Peja Stojakovic was a 6'10", 229-pound small forward who was a key piece on the Sacramento Kings when they were contenders, and he was one of the best three-point shooters ever. He only shot below 37.5% from 3 in his career once, and he's never attempted less than 3.6 three-point attempts in a season for his career. He could hit mid-range shots, and while he didn't attack the paint a lot, he was decently efficient when he did. At his best, he was shooting 73% from the 0 to 3 foot range, while taking 22.9% of his shots from that range. A 6'10", 230-pound guy who was taking near 7 3-pointers a game in his prime, in an era where somebody that tall taking that many threes was unheard of outside of maybe Dirk Nowitzki. Now imagine what he would be doing today with more spacing and playing in offenses that would benefit three-point shooting more than they ever would in Peja's era. I think this is somebody that will create a lot of mismatches for opposing defenses and really would be a starter in today's NBA because of how positionless the game is and how much stretch fours are used now compared to back then. So those were 4 players that I believe would thrive if they played in today's NBA. I know some of the names are what you would expect. I think you guys expected Kevin Garnett. To an extent, Gilbert Arenas, I did make a video about him. I think anyone who knows basketball knows about Peja. But I don't think a lot of people would have expected me to put Jaylen Rose on this list. Because again, Jaylen Rose is somebody that's way more known for his personality on ESPN and the fact that Kobe dropped 81 points on him. But, he's somebody that in his playing days was a really good player. He was the second or third best player on a team that went to the finals, and he was really good. And somebody that would have been perfect for today's NBA because of his positional versatility. That's why he made the list, because again, not too many people knew about him. So that's why I wanted to talk about that. And there are definitely names that I could have done. And I might do a part 2 of this video if this video does really well. So maybe drop some names down in the comment section below about, who you would like to see. But that's the end of this video. If you made it to this point, thank you so much. It means a lot to me. If you haven't already, subscribe, do all those things. I wanted to mention something at the end of this video because I don't think a lot of people would be interested in this at the beginning and didn't want to waste your time at the beginning. But I am doing a series on my second channel where I review every single episode of Scooby-Doo Where Are You? We've done 3 episodes on that channel already. It's basically a podcast style thing where it's a picture in the background and I just kind of give my thoughts on each episode of Scooby-Doo Where Are You? It's a fun, quick series. I have a lot of fun making them. They're quick and they're easy. And it's just, really talking about something that isn't basketball. So if you're into something like that, go check that out. And with that being said, have a nice day.